literally the reason we were even able to hire this editor is because of us niching down. Because before, we've been in situations where we wanted to hire people, but it was literally like, do we hire a web designer, a ad manager, a graphic designer? Like we had no idea what, and like whether or not we were going to get a project in that field anytime soon. Because it would be like, we'd literally get like maybe 2 websites in a month, and then we wouldn't get a website for 3 months. And like, there was no consistent one thing we did other than video. That was the only thing that stayed consistent the whole time.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, is that when you're doing multiple things all at once, it's difficult to market it, right?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, we've come to acknowledge that if we look at all of our social media, all of it just aligns with media production.
Yeah.
Right.
Literally.
There's nothing there that told people that we did graphic design, that we did web design, that we did ad management, none of that.
It's
right?
true.
And I think for us, looking back at it now, I think we overestimated our skills and capabilities. And I think that's just because we were excited.
Yeah. And we're kind of just like, you know, we just want to grab as many clients as we can. And like, we know for a fact we can figure it out and make them happy.
Yeah.
And like, it worked here and there, but like you run into problems and unforeseen issues. So like we just kept realizing again and again that it just doesn't work in terms of marketing, in terms of scaling, in terms of executing. In every way, it's harder.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, we noticed, we took a look at our business from like the outside and like, what do we look like? What does it look like we do? We look like we do video production.
And
that's cool.
And that's the best thing about it, is that people already had an idea of what it is that we were doing. We basically were branding ourselves without really consciously knowing that we were branding ourselves, right? Not until we took a step back that we realized that, okay, when people think of us, when people think of Lano Media, people think of video production. Yeah. But yet internally, we were operating in a way where we're offering multiple things and like we were lost. Yeah. Right. And I think that's the beauty of running a business, is that you will come across multiple problems and you wouldn't know the solution until you actually are in it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Right? Like, I mean, owning a business, literally, it doesn't matter what it is problem solving. That's literally your job. And like, I find there's only so much you can plan for and like prepare in advance. Like you said, like even in getting this studio, like, there's a lot of things we had in mind and we planned for and we were like trying to be safe on, but there were so many things we couldn't even think of beforehand. Like you have to just be in it to even know the problem exists, you know? So like, I think, just experience and just getting out there is huge. Like,
absolutely. And I don't know if you would agree with me on this, but for me, I'm a true believer that I would put experience over education. Yeah. Because with experience, you get education, whereas education, you don't get any experience, right?
Yeah. In
and
business,
obviously,
for sure.
In business, definitely. But I mean, basically in life as well, right? Like you get educated through experiences. That's how you learn. That's how we were able to survive on this fucking planet for the longest time.
Like, basically for anything other than, you know, sciences or whatever. Like,
yes, of course.
Then, I agree.
But even even then, they have to do experiments for them to actually come up with a solution, though.
But you have to know how science works to even do an experiment.
No, of course.
So it's but like in that case, it's a little different.
But if you think about it, before science started, what was it all about? It was all based off of experiments. It was all
at the same time. Before science started, they had no idea how anything worked.
Exactly.
So it's like you have to learn how it works, then experiment with that, then go from there.
But the thing is, of course, where it is right now, but the foundation of science started off of experience. Yeah. Right? Nobody knew anything back then. Yeah. But because people were doing things and experiencing things, they were able to slowly acquire a little bit by bit of knowledge, and then they were able to piece it together. That's why now we are able to do the things that we can based off all those previous experiences. Yeah. Does that make sense?
It does, but the only reason I'm saying it's different is like you don't know about those previous experiences until you went to school and learned about them. So I'm saying with science, like you don't like it's not the same. Yeah. Whereas everything else, I think in most of life, you can jump into owning a business with no education. Yes. You can jump into anything and learn. Yeah. I don't even know why I brought up science, but I'm just, it is,
but
of
I think
course,
science,
different.
I think, no, I definitely.
Because you can't walk into a lab and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to see how this reacts with that and not even know what those are.
Exactly. I know. But now we can teach people. People can now learn because of the previous experience of people people making mistakes. That's the whole thing that I'm getting at.
Yeah. But I think what we're saying is in business it's the opposite.
Yeah, of course. So
yeah.
Of course.
Who knows?
Yeah,
I don't know what we're talking about.
I don't know, but no, I think we're just rambling on about experience with business and whatnot. Yeah. But I really like what we're doing right now, focusing on micro content. I mean, while you were away in Toronto, I got to go attend an event that we actually was a part of. So
I'm sad I missed that.
Exactly. So shout out to Drip House and Nostalgia. I'm actually wearing a Nostalgia merch that Phil was kind enough to gift us because we took part of that project of marketing it.
Yeah.
And that was really, really fun, man. Shout out to them. And I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I've been wearing this and I actually really like the fit. So shout out to Phil.
Yeah, I love it. It's very heavy. It's very good material. I like it a lot.
Yeah, and I also like the design. But yeah, no, that was a really fun project.
I know. And the shirts that they were selling sold out so quick. We couldn't even get our hands on them.
I know, bro. I'm sorry. I know you wanted me to get that, but literally, bro, I showed up like 5 or 10 minutes before they all sold out. I wasn't expecting to sell it like that.
No, I knew they'd sell out. I just didn't think that quick. It was like half an hour. It was wild.
No, that video was a success though. Yeah, and I'm really happy on how that turned out.
Yeah.
I think we executed that very well.
Yeah, I think he came with a sick vision. I think we executed that. He seemed happy, like we created what he envisioned, but we knew it off the bat, in that initial meeting, like we were all just clicking. We were all on the same page in terms of that vision, and it came to life nicely. I'm very happy with it.
How do you like the micro content?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Because, I mean, the thing is, like, within all of this, my interest has always been video, like video production. Even, like, I just like working with a camera, but even photography, I'm not all that into. It's like, I've always loved video. So that's always been, like, where I find the most joy in the business. But I was down to lean into whatever we found. Because I have fun in doing anything, but more than anything with the camera. So now the fact that we're focused on this and I don't have to think about, okay, like, yeah, we got that video to shoot, but we got that website to make, but we got that ad to run, whatever. It's like, now I just know my job is basically to shoot videos.
I have a question for you. Does it bother you that I'm not so into the video thing?
No, not at all. I think we're very opposite in almost every way, and I think it's quite beneficial.
Yeah.
I think, like, it can cause a lot of different opinions, but I think that's an important thing because, like, I think it's allowed us to reach a lot of different audiences, whereas if we were both the same person, is like, yeah, we could do well, but it would be like we'd only be aimed at one thing. Because like right now we push back on each other, we give different ideas, and like also we just kind of have multiple styles within the business in terms of how to shoot videos, how our social media content is, and like so no, I think, and also I'm not a huge fan of like coming up with social media ideas and stuff, so it's like we just have the opposite ends that we like, and so
it balances it out.
Yeah, exactly. If we both loved camera work, then the social media and stuff would struggle heavily. But now, so it's sick. I like it. I like that I can focus on the video, and if we need to bring on more videographers, then I can be the one to manage that, and like it's
exactly.
Sick. I like it.
Yeah, no, because I really enjoy doing the back end stuff, whether that's connecting with people, just like the marketing of the business and whatnot. I think that's where I excel. And going back to what we're talking about, and this is why I really enjoy how we really divided the task, because now we can focus on things that we're really good at.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Because now instead of you focusing on the marketing side of things, it's not your biggest strength. Yeah. So why take on that role when I can take on that role, and that's my bigger strength? Why would I take on the role of going out and filming when that's not in any way my strength, right? So it's nice. It's a great foundation.
Yeah. No, it's sick. And it's simple too, like how we broken it up. Literally, you get clients, I make sure they're happy, and that's it. That's our two halves of the business.
I know. And it's nice how we slowly form this relationship and also this system. And because when we first started this business, or like when you and I first started working together, it was more of like we just did everything. Yeah. Right? I mean, this whole business before Landlord Media came about, we drop shipping.
Yeah.
And then we kind of just did everything together. Whereas,
and it makes sense why we started at such a broad thing, because we were doing all those things. Like when I first started, we were doing them, and then we slowly like just did less and less of them because we weren't getting clients for those. But at first we were just doing them for ourselves, like making websites, running ads, doing everything.
Yeah, I think that was just
why
fun.
We thought that was the route, because we know how to do all these things, so let's do it. But it just kind of naturally formed itself into this. But yeah, it's sick. Like being able to narrow in is like what allows us to scale, and like
and nothing's ever forced. I think
Yeah.
I think for you and I think what's great about our system is that we can take a step back and analyze and then make the right moves.
Yeah.
Right. And the reason why we're able to make those right moves is because we get into something that may have worked or may have not worked, and then we just take a step back and then just really dive into it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I have one question. I mean, I have multiple questions, but one of them is that a lot of people say that you should never get into business with your friends. Would you agree with that?
That's interesting. I think
Because you and I go way back.
yeah.
We go way back through high school,
Yeah.
and we did our fitness thing, and we did our videos and whatnot. And then now this is more of a serious thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say that you should never get into business with family or friends. Would you agree with that?
I honestly almost would, because I think most people it would really mess things up, because I think most people are pretty stubborn in like what they want. So it's like it's not a like constructive conversation figuring things out. It's like, no, you're wrong, no, you're wrong, just fight it out until something happens. Whereas I find for us, we start at that with two very different opinions, but neither of us are like, no, it has to go my way, it has to, you're wrong, that's done.
Yeah.
Like we're very much like either meeting in the middle or like, okay, let's try your way this time, let's try my way this time. Like we're very fluid with it. So I think we've just found our way of meeting in the middle. But if we were more stubborn, I think we would just be endlessly fighting, endlessly arguing and hating. Like if something went your way, I'd hate it. If something went my way, like I just think it's risky for
It
sure.
definitely is. It definitely
and
is.
it's like be very cautious. But I think we have just kind of found that way to like work together. Where like because that's just how it works. Like, but also I think, to be honest, that's just as risky with a stranger. You know, like I don't think the friend part is the issue.
Definitely. I think also before you get into business with anybody, I think you both have to have the same vision.
Yeah.
Because you and I had the same vision when we first started with the drop shipping thing. And then we kind of like transitioned into this whole digital agency thing.
Yeah.
And I think we evolved together, right? Because we were also in it the same way, right? We were both fully invested into it. And I definitely do agree with you on how like it was nice that we kind of weren't really stubborn, right?
Yeah.
Because if we wanted to go this route and this route, then it would just like, instead of working together, we'd be dividing each other. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I would also agree with you that like, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recommend it, especially if you and the other person does not share the same vision.
Yeah. Cause that's a good point too, is like, if we like, let's say you wanted this to just be kind of like a little part-time side thing, you just make a couple extra bucks, but I wanted to scale it and be a full-time and that's my only thing, then like, we'd be butting heads on every decision. Like, or I'd want to take big leaps and you'd be like, no, let's just not, that's too risky. Like, so it's like, we had the same end goal with this. So it just, everything's just working towards the same thing and we're just approaching it in different ways.
Yeah.
But no, it's definitely risky. But saying that, like seeing how we narrowed down and now we are officially, instead of an agency or whatever, marketing, we are a video production company.
We're 3 things now, bro. Landlord Media has literally divided into 3 things and I really like it.
Yeah.
Like we now have like the media production, we have the studio rental, and now we also have this podcast, which I mean, I'm doing this because I like it. I just like to have conversations with you or with guests.
Yeah.
But I think I do have a long-term vision for this podcast. I think so.
Yeah.
And I would want it to go that route, but I think it will take some time and just consistency, but I really like it.
Yeah. But being that we're like now, cause it's all like everything's accessory, right? Like we are a video production company. Now, because we have a studio, we rent that out, and that's a part of our business. And then we have this as, in my eyes, part of our business as well. As we're producing a video right now, we're meeting people, blah, blah, blah. So
it's marketing.
Yeah. So seeing that we are now a video production company, and there are so many of those in the world, like, what do you think makes us any different? Do you think this was the right call to become a video production company?
I think so, because if you really think about it, the way the world is evolving right now, it's based off of everything is with media.
Yeah.
Right. No, let me ask you something. If Instagram, Facebook, YouTube all went away, what percentage of businesses would go bankrupt?
Most everything,
bro.
Everything that isn't local, like you're
basically,
done.
bro. All e-commerce would be demolished.
Yeah.
Everything would disintegrate in terms of like how the economy would, bro. Think about it. Amazon. I mean, Amazon is kind of like established its thing, but I mean, without like Facebook ads, imagine no Facebook ads, no Google ads.
Yeah.
No.
I would almost argue if that happened today, Amazon would be like the only business left, because people wouldn't know where to look, so they just go Amazon. Like, like literally because of what they've established. But yeah, from the start, they would not be where they are without it.
Exactly. So and I think that's why I'm really happy with where we are right now.
Yeah.
And because I think we just tapped into the industry, and I think where we are projecting to be, I think we're at an early stage.
Yeah.
Bro, if you really think about it, we're at a very, very early stage, especially if you're looking at this business long term.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, think about it. One thing I really do like too is that with this business, we're able to curate great relationship with people around us, especially here locally, and we are helping businesses make money, right?
No, it's true.
And
that's the best part. Like, it's pretty straightforward in that. That's my favorite part about what we sell is like, I'm not trying to like take money from you or anything. It's like, I'm trying to make you money and then I get some back, and it's like a very fair exchange. Like, that's what makes this easy, and I don't feel like weird trying to sell this to anyone, because it's like I very much believe in the value we provide,
and that's
how our pricing matches up with that. So it's like
that's what makes a great business, bro. That's what makes a business valuable, is by providing value.
Exactly.
Right? I mean, if we had no value, then nobody would purchase us, especially at the price that we're selling our things. I mean, it's not expensive, but it's definitely not something people would just want to spend nonchalant, right? Without a purpose.
Yeah.
And so I think I do like the fact that we're in the media space, and it's going to be a growing industry. And I truly believe that this is just the beginning. And we are, I would say, a pioneer of it.
I can see that.
Especially with podcast production here in Ottawa.
Yeah.
I know there are studios that offers podcast production. I mean, like a space for people to do podcasts, but I haven't heard any videographers doing specifically podcast production.
No, it's true. Like, anytime it's just like they bring on a videographer to do a podcast, but I've never seen someone like promote that service as a whole. So
And even for us, we are offering that, but I think we need to do a better job of actually communicating that out there and doing more and pushing it out a bit harder, just because it's definitely still an untapped thing.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot of people out there that want to get a podcast going and just don't know how to do it.
And you know what's so crazy too, though? I think the way the world is transitioning right now, a lot of people want to be multitasking, and that's why podcast is becoming a really popular thing, because it's one of those things that you can just put in the background and still be doing something. Yeah. Right? Whereas now people can't even sit and watch a 5-minute video, but let alone like an hour and a half podcast. But yet podcasts are still very popular. Yeah. And it's because people just listen to them on the background while they're driving and whatnot. And that's just how the world is unfortunately just turning into, bro. Like, just like constantly being stimulated.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? No, it's almost like, I guess back in the day, people would just turn on the TV for like background noise and whatnot. But now people do. Exactly. No, it's crazy. Filler noise.
Yeah, it's true though. Podcasts, like, I remember like they really got popular like 2017, 18. Like, that's when they were really starting to pop off. And I remember people were saying like, yeah, it's just like a bubble. Like it's popping off, but don't even hop on it because it's gonna go away. Nobody's gonna care in a couple of years, but I don't think it's going anywhere.
Bro, I didn't know what a podcast was for the longest time. I just remember my iPod Touch or my iPhone having that podcast app, and I was like, "What is that?" Like, you know that purple thing?
Wild,
I was like, "What is that?" Like, there's no purpose.
Early.
There's no purpose for that. But even then, right now, do people even go on that app? Because I'm pretty sure people is.
I think
Spotify
like for Apple, it's just on Apple Music.
Is it? I don't know how Apple. I have no clue.
Because that was like an Apple app, the podcast app. But yeah, like it's crazy to think that existed. Because who was doing a podcast back then? I don't even know if Joe Rogan was.
Bro, Joe Rogan was, bro. Joe Rogan started his podcast with a webcam.
Oh wow,
bro! With a webcam,
so long.
Bro, for so long,
so right.
because he's a stand-up comedian.
Yeah,
right.
Comedians are my favorite podcasters, bro.
I know, bro.
They're so good.
They're just so funny, bro. Did you see this? Did you see Andrew Schultz just hammering Steiny from Full Send podcast?
Full Send. That was so good.
That was so funny.
Because I like Andrew Schultz a lot. I mean, he's like, I see that energy in him a lot, where he just likes to like make fun of people and like try to be funny, and it can be a little savage at times, but that one I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, I think for you to be a comedian, you need to have a level of confidence where even you can attack the big dogs. And also you have to be very intelligent. You have to be intelligent in the sense that like you have to back up everything that you say, and also back yourself up if people say something back to you. Yeah. Right? You have to be intelligent in that sense, and you just have to have good social skills.
For sure.
But
no, it's a hard thing. Like you see it, like the more you watch stand up and even just them on podcasts, you see how much thought's going into everything they say, because it's very thought out. They're not just throwing things out there.
They're very talented.
And it's cool. It's cool to see, like when you start to realize it, you can learn a lot in terms of communicating, like from stand up, because like literally their job is to like offend you or make fun of you and have you laugh about it and like love them for it.
It's just the delivery. Everything when you're talking to someone, and you could say that two people could say the exact same thing, but if one person delivers it differently and more impactful, people would listen better.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
100%. No, it's so true. They're pros at that. It's literally what they do.
I know.
It's what they train for.
One day we'll get there. I mean, not a comedian, but just at a level of communication.
Yeah.
But
cool.
Yeah, I mean, I talking back with the micro content. I have another question for you. Can you think of a situation where putting out content have changed your life, or like impacted you in a positive way? Because because
putting out my own content.
Yeah, because I think for people that don't know, you are very kind of like low key. Yeah. You're not really out there.
I'm quiet on social media.
Yeah, you're very quiet. Yeah. We're opposite on that sense too. Yeah. Sometimes I have to tell you, yo, post something and whatnot. Which works so well though.
Yeah.
But can you think of a specific moment where social media actually, obviously outside of our business, that's how we garner all of our clients, but for yourself, has an opportunity opened up because you were on social media putting out content?
Actually, never, because like you said, I literally didn't post before this business. Like I went through a phase where I was doing photography in between high school and like this, and I was doing like freelance stuff, and like I would post my work there, but nobody saw it. Nothing really happened from that. And literally, I started really posting with this business. But one thing related to that was a big moment was, I think it was either our first or second client, but like the first thing I ever posted about this business on my Instagram, on my story, a friend of mine who's just about to open a gym reached out, and like I just posted a story about our business, and he's like, yo, I'm opening a gym soon, let's do some stuff. And then literally we worked with him for like 3 years.
Oh yeah, that's sick. With Warren.
It's N4.
Yes. And you know what's so funny? I told you to post that.
I know.
I told you to post that,
exactly.
Bro.
You literally said, yo, post a story today, get some stuff up. I post it, and we literally get that. Yeah. And it was sick. So that was huge. Like that was a big moment where I kind of realized the value of it.
Yeah, and that's why posting like content on social media is very powerful, especially if you're especially if you're in the business world. I mean, for us, before we even launched Landlow Media, I had put a story on my Snapchat of us building our website, and then Aiden which is the
yeah.
owner of Paplay, reached
Yeah.
out, was like, hey, listen, we have this product we want to launch. Can you guys
wow.
build us a website? And we
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
because of that. A
It's
Snapchat
crazy.
story got us our very first client. And
Yeah.
that's what actually gave us the boost of like, oh, wow, we can do this.
Yeah.
There's actually a need for this service. And then we built their website. We took their photos. We made
Yeah.
videos. Did we make videos?
We did.
We did. We made videos,
Yeah.
and then that kind of just like kickstarted everything. We're
Yeah,
like, yo,
it's
we
true.
can do this. Man, never underestimate the power of social media, and that's why it exists,
Yeah.
man. It's so powerful because here is why I think micro content or just content in general is very powerful, right? If let's say there is a message that you want to put out there and you put it on social media, in a span of an hour, 100 people can see that video and get your message across.
Yeah.
And you get your message across to 100 people. Whereas if you do it traditionally, knock on doors, you could knock on 100 doors and maybe 5% will answer, but that would take you 5 hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's a bit
Yeah.
more powerful, and people can always go back to what you had said and whatnot.
Yeah.
And that's why
share it and
exactly,
this,
bro.
that,
And that's
yeah.
why content is so powerful, man. Because you get the reach.
It's huge.
You literally have an advantage. It's
and
so crazy.
And then you can get super lucky and go viral, and then
Absolutely.
millions of people see you. Like, it really is a very, very powerful thing. Like, that can't really be replicated outside of social media.
That's why
really
attention
can't.
is the new currency, bro.
It is.
Because the more attention you have, that equates to more money, bro.
Because that's the thing too, is like people look at it like, oh, and this is kind of how I looked at it too. Like, I only have like a couple hundred followers. They're all just my friends. Like, these aren't people who are going to hire us. What's the point? But like,
Yeah.
first of all, you posted to your friends on Snapchat. I posted to my friends. We both got a client out of it. And this was very early on.
Yeah.
But also, you never know, like, your friend's dad might own a business. This person's that. Like, they might see that and be like, oh, did you hear this? Like, you never know. So it's like,
Yeah.
to me, it's always just valuable to put something out there and like,
Yeah.
just get it in front of people. Cause also too, like, the big thing is, especially early on, people try to like hide what they are doing and wait till they're successful. But like, the best way to grow is to like just let every single person you know what you're doing. And now, like, you know, before, people might not, like, even in my family might not know what I'm doing, but now literally every family member, extended family, friends know I'm doing this podcast. They've seen it, they've like come across it. So it's like, I don't know, everyone can now, oh, you're looking for a video, I know a guy, whatever. Like,
Yes,
you have
exactly.
people,
You wanna
just
be
need
that
to be
guy.
open with what you're doing and not scared to post about it, because
Yeah.
you never know.
And the beauty about marketing is that it's not so much about like converting right in that moment.
Yeah.
But it's about the idea of when something comes up, and let's say in the media production realm, and when you're the first company they think about, that's when your marketing actually works.
Exactly.
Right?
It's like planting the seeds and then just
Exactly.
waiting for the moment. Like, we've had that, like, where someone will just email us randomly like, oh, hey, I came across you guys like 3 months ago and now I need something. Blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
It's like, you
Yeah.
never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
And that's why I sometimes think about the idea of, let's say, knock on wood, Landlord Media shut down. I'm pretty sure even after, let's say, a month or two, there's still people going to be reaching out to us. I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, do you offer this service? And
I
blah,
totally
blah,
agree.
blah, blah, right?
Because we still get questions for services we don't offer anymore, who like checked us out a while ago and now they're coming back, but we've changed kind of what we do. But
Yeah. And that's the thing, bro. We actually don't know the impact that we've left out there, because not everybody actually is just telling us, but like, people just know about it, bro. Like,
I think it's just been long enough. We're open with it, so it's like,
you're
like,
establishing ourselves. We're establishing our brand as business owners, as well as like we're establishing our brand as a company.
Anyone we know knows what we do, what this business is, and
It's hype.
that's cool. It's
It's
a lot of
hype.
people.
Absolutely.
It's a really cool thing to like just get your name out there.
Yeah.
But like, going back more, like, what do you think even got you to go this route of owning a business? Like, from your childhood, from growing up, like, why? I don't even know if I could answer that question, but why do you think you even went this route?
Okay, so for me, going back, let me tell you a little story about how I think my entrepreneurial like mindset came about. So for those who don't know, I grew up in the Philippines. I grew up from the age of 0 to 9 years old. I came to Canada when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
But obviously, Philippines is not a rich country, and then so I had to find ways to kind of have fun. And if I wanted to buy a candy and whatnot, like I just didn't have money like that. There was just no candy in the house.
Yeah.
Right. And so for me, I think the feeling of being rewarded was instilled in me at an early age, when I would go like look for a scrap and sell at a junkyard, bro. I would literally go, I'd have a bag and I would collect bottles or even just like metals, and I would go to the junkyard and then I would sell that. They would weigh it and they would give me money for it, bro. And that feeling was so amazing. It was so rewarding.
Yeah.
And it was just like, whoa, I just did a little bit of that and now I'm rewarded with this money, which then I can go and buy candy. You know what I mean? And just that feeling was just so nice.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously I moved to Canada when I was 9. And then obviously I can't just do anything like that, right? But I think the next phase were when I started that whole JDM thing with you and with you and Joey. We started making videos and we started selling a little bit of merch, as if you want to say that, you know, and like it was just yet again it hit that like feeling of like being rewarded, right? And then that kind of carried on. After a year or two later, after we dismantled, I started my very first failed business, which is car detailing.
Yes.
Okay, so I did a little bit of car detailing, and I just liked the idea of being my own boss and just the idea of being in control of my own time and doing it when I please. Yeah. And also just being rewarded. I think the idea of being rewarded for the hard work that you just did is really nice. And not only that, but you looking for that opportunity, right? And then
finding it.
You found the opportunity, you executed, now you're being rewarded, and it's so nice.
And you know what's so funny about this that I could never understand, like, and we still do it to this day, like, so let's go back to that car detailing business, assuming just the way we've kind of always operated, like whatever money you made just went back into the business. You're not really going to spend it right away.
Yeah.
So like, isn't it weird how you'd rather go clean a car and make nothing and build your business than go just work for a car detailing business and make $30 a car and you'd be doing the same thing? But if you were doing that job, you'd probably hate your life, hate cleaning these cars.
It's more rewarding. I think it's the idea of someone having control over you.
Yeah.
Right? For example, like when you're at school, the reason why, like for me at least, I can speak on myself, is the reason why I didn't really want to excel in school is because I wasn't really involved or I wasn't engaged. Because even when, for example, I don't know if you would agree with me on this, but for example, if there was a teacher that was teaching me something about, let's say, about dogs, okay? The information that the teacher's teaching me, I won't be retained as well as if I went out of my way and did my own research about information about dogs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why sometimes when you go out of your way to learn something, you actually hold that information a lot better than in comparison to someone just teaching that to you.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Because you're actually going out of your way, you're actually engaged, you're actually interested.
Seeking it out,
Yeah, you're interested. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're actually interested.
Yeah, because then, you know, when you're doing it for yourself, you're like, not only are you building something, but it's the long-term outcome, as well as you're learning how to run a business. You're like, when you get a client, it's not just like you show up to work and okay, there's 10 cars to clean. It's like when you get a client, it's rewarding. Like, I got that.
Yes.
They hired me specifically, not just this company that I work for. They hired me. Like,
exactly.
So it's like, more rewarding makes sense for sure.
Yeah, I think that's why.
But it's a funny thing. Like, it's just, you hear the classic quote, like, I quit my 9 to 5 to do a 24/7. Like,
but it's just so true, bro. You're always on the clock, and not even that too. Is like, not only are you in the clock physically, but mentally, bro. Yeah. There's literally times where like I'd just be walking my dog, I just think about our business. Yeah. Before I go to bed, I'd be thinking about my business. Right when I wake up, I think about my business. Right. Whereas if you're working a typical 9 to 5 job, I mean, most of the time you wouldn't really think about like, okay, what can I do to increase my freaking productivity at work? You don't really think about those things, right? Because you're just there. You're not as invested as you would be if it was your own business. Because
like I love being an entrepreneur, but like the biggest thing that I hear that makes me like jealous of someone with a regular job is like they get an email, they're like, I'm not answering that. It's after 5. I'll check that tomorrow. I'm not looking at my email right now. I'm off the clock. Like that's just like crazy to me. I'm just, oh man, like imagine 5 o'clock hits and you're just done, free.
I know,
That's
crazy. But then also, the idea of just always living for the Friday and the weekends is so like disheartening, because let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. So Dason and I hung out on a Thursday, on a Thursday morning, right? And then we went on a hike in Gatineau, and it was empty, bro. And it was so beautiful. And I was like, wow, like this is crazy. Why is it so empty? And then I realized it's a Thursday morning. Everybody's at work. Yeah. And then like I just felt like I was just flooded with the feeling of gratitude, because I'm like, wow, I'm able to do this because I control my own time and whatnot. True. Whereas like some people, they can't do this freely because they are stuck within with their 9-to-5 job, or that's why so many people are just like so depressed when it's like Sunday evening. Cause like, oh fuck, I gotta go to work.
No, I'll give you that. Like that's very true. Like it's like we're still working Friday nights and weekends, but yeah, if there's something that comes up, okay, cool. Yeah, I can do that now. I'll just catch up later today. Like, it's not so rigid, which that's very cool.
Exactly. And that's the thing. That's the thing. We're working like dogs right now. Yeah. But at the end of the day, once we get to a level where we scale our business, we wouldn't be as this business. I want it to be able to operate on its own, like where it'll just be passive income for you and I. Yeah. Right. Because then the more the bigger we scale it, the more we're gonna add people into the team, and then it'll just be automated in some way, and then we just go do our own thing and whatnot. We get to free up our time.
To the next,
But right now, that's the thing. We build a foundation. Yeah. But I want to implement something new to this podcast. I don't know how long we've been going, but I have some.
Okay. Let's end it on this.
What is this?
We're at 45.
What? I was hoping that this would be at 30 minutes.
Let's hit this.
Okay.
A nice slow way to finish it up.
Okay.
That's a good timing.
I was hoping that this would be in the middle of the podcast.
That's so good. In the future, wild. It will. We'll set a timer
yes. Up. So,
okay.
I'm
good. I don't need anything.
No. I have 10 rapid questions for you. Okay. Just to like, for people to know more about you, or even myself. But I feel like I know most of these questions. But I have 10 questions for you. Okay. I think it goes from easy to hard, I think.
Okay.
So
this is something we want to implement with our guests, where in the middle we throw rapid fire at them.
Yeah, just to let
things lively.
Yeah, exactly. To let them loose and whatnot.
I like it.
Okay. First question: how was your day?
Fine. Not great, I'll be honest.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, that's good.
Better now.
Dream car?
RS7.
RS7. Wow. Okay.
That's an interesting one. That's what comes to my head. RSQ8, something like that.
Okay.
Audi. I like Audi a lot.
Okay. Movie date or dinner date?
Movie.
100K now or $1 million in 10 years?
Whoa. That's hard. In 10 years, 100K.
Yeah. 100K now? Yeah. Okay. Change the future or the past?
Future.
Okay.
That's an interesting one.
Would you rather backstab someone or be backstabbed?
Whoa. Damn. I mean, I'm always one, like, I'll always take the hit over making someone else suffer.
Because you have a strong moral compass.
I'd like to say that, but it's honestly like, I'm just like, yeah, I guess it's that. I can't. Like, I feel so bad if I, like, make someone hurt. So it's like, I'd rather just take the pain. So
that's true.
I'll get stabbed up.
Okay. Do you think you've already met your wife?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay. Would you rather lose Instagram or YouTube?
Wow. Instagram.
Instagram? Okay. 1 year without phone or 1 year without sex? That's a hard one.
Phone, I can make it work. I can make a computer work.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll figure it out.
I was going to say.
Damn.
Last thing. Are you proud of yourself?
I am. I'm very proud.
That's good.
I'm very proud of this business. I'm very proud of what we've done.
Okay.
And honestly, I don't even care where the business is at. I'm proud of, like, the work we've put in. Regardless of where we're at.
Okay.
We put in 3 good years of work.
Okay.
We're grinding, and I'm proud of that.
I guess one last follow-up question with that last one. What do you think is your best character trait?
Jeez.
Or favorite. Like, for me, to give you an idea, for me, my favorite character trait about myself is that I'm visionary.
Mm-hmm.
I like to think of wild ideas, and I like to act on them and execute them. It makes things a lot more fun in my life. So having me being a visionary is something that I really like about myself.
Yeah. I think I like that I'm very like easygoing in the way that like I see people like in so many ways, but like whether it's like what we had planned to do that night or how their day went or whatever, it's like they need it to go a certain way and they're very upset if it's not. But I'm just kind of like, yeah, we could do whatever, and then whatever it is, I'll have fun, you know. So it's like I find I
That's
benefit a lot from that day to day where people are like arguing over what to do next. I'm like, let me know when you guys decide.
You're just easygoing. Like, yeah. You're easy to get along with, and I think I definitely would 100% agree with that.
Yeah,
and there's been times where like I did appreciate the fact that like, okay, you know what, let's just do that. There's no stress on my end,
and it's not like me like giving in. It's like I really could be fine either way. It's like so it just I feel like I have a lot more peace of mind than most people where I can just be like, whatever you decide, let's do it. And like, we're good.
Hype.
But those are good questions.
Were they?
Next time we go solo, I'll have some for you.
Okay, bro. I was going to go a bit harder, but I was like, you know what? This is the first time. I don't want to make it like that crazy.
No, those are good.
But it's just,
I like it.
At least now people know a little bit more about yourself and even myself.
Yeah. No,
cool.
I'll get some for the next solo.
Yeah, but for the next guest too, I think that would be really fun.
Definitely.
Right? And I think it's also nice icebreaker.
Yeah.
It's a nice icebreaker.
No, it's sick.
But yeah. That's crazy.
Beauty.
I didn't think it were this long already, but
you know, every time.
Hype.
Let's keep it up, man. Let's keep the good guests coming.
Yes,
we got
sir.
some sick people in our DMs right now.
I know, bro.
Hyped about.
I know, bro.
I hope that shit works out.
I know, man. Yeah,
but we've had some sick guests. I'm like genuinely, this podcast first of all has been like performing a lot better than I expected. Like I was expecting 10, 15 views per episode. Like our last couple are over 100, which is insane to me.
Yeah.
But more importantly, like just the people we've got to talk to is way beyond what I would have expected.
Exactly.
Like, it's really, really cool.
Yeah. And we're just, like I said, the direction that we're taking with the podcast is that we're building a community here in Ottawa through conversations,
goal.
Right?
That's it. It's just
right?
just getting to know people, building that community, and also like not just getting to know them, but letting people get to know them. Like
exactly. And also like I want to get people on the podcast who have different ideology than us or like different perspective and whatnot, because I just want to have a conversation, right? Because I'm not closed-minded. I want to learn about why they think or feel that way.
Exactly.
And I think that would be a really interesting concept for us to implement on this podcast.
And that goes back to the whole like easygoing is like I'll learn from or talk to any human being on earth. I don't have to agree with everything you say for me to like take value from it. You know, like whether it's what not to do or I like how you've thought about that, but I don't agree with the sentiment, whatever. Like I can learn and take value from any human being. So
that's a really good trait, because a lot of people, and I think I've fallen victim to this, is that sometimes I feel biased on having conversation with people, especially if I know that what they'll talk about or what they are into is a polar opposite of my belief or like what I want.
You assume that nothing will align. Nothing will.
Exactly.
You won't agree with a single word they say because of that. And it's like, it's hard to look past, but it's just simply not true. Like, like no matter who they are, there's
always something that you can learn.
Yeah.
You can always learn from other people, you know? And like I said, as long as you have a solid, like a sense of like identity, I don't think other people's idea will tarnish your
it's almost like if you avoid those conversations, it's almost like you're scared that you'll get swayed to it. You know, whereas if you just know where you stand, like that's that. Two different opinions, and that's fine.
Cool. Anyway,
Beauty.
We don't want to ruin our retention. I know nobody's probably going to see this the end of this.
Yeah.
But thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Peace.